Hi, I'm Bry Cox with BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. Today I want to talk about breaking the rules in photography. There you go, that's what we're going to talk about. But before we get into that, keep in mind I also have full courses, right? Check out my website, subscribe to this video. My website is BryCoxWORKSHOPS, BRYCOX, workshops.com. Full courses on lighting, on posing, sales, things like that. And however you're watching this, iTunes, podcast, whatever, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, let me know you like it, subscribe, click, whatever. Okay, so here's the question today. It was a photographer was sending me a question on coming to one of my workshops, and they really want to learn how to break the rules. What do I need to do? How do I don't want to learn rules. I want to learn how to break the rules. Okay, so for me, I'm kind of a rule breaker in many ways. I think that's why I'm self-employed. I've never really had a job with anybody, and I think I'd have a hard time working for somebody for the mere fact that I always feel like my way's better. I think that's why I'm self-employed. I've been like that since I was a kid. But when it comes to artistic and photographic rules, I like to think of them more as guidelines, because there are some hard, fast rules, and I will teach you those rules. And I don't think those things you can break. However, at the same time, I feel like what a lot of people consider rules are really just guidelines. And I consider guidelines as maybe arrows that are kind of an easy way to get to that rule. So here's an example. Symmetry is a rule, or not symmetry, but balance. An image has to balance, right? You can't have it visually lopsided. You can't have it cropped in weird ways. You can't have... It has to balance. It's just how it has to be. But I've also been on like jury panels and judging around the country, and I've sat by judges who will say something like, but this family isn't symmetrical. And I'll think, there's no rule that says a family has to be symmetrical. There's no rule that says anything has to be symmetrical. If anything, symmetry is the guideline, right, to get to balance. It's one way of balancing, but you can balance asymmetrically and use negative space and other things in the photo to help balance. So I'm a big believer in learning the basics, which are the rules, and then understanding that everything else is really kind of a guideline. So I'm talking about lighting women and how to light women amazingly well, how to light women so well that you don't have to retouch them, right? When I talk about this, I'm going to narrow it down to a couple absolute finite rules that you cannot break. But at the same time, that opens us up to guidelines, and I can say, look, here are a gazillion ways to light this woman. We'll have a model. I'll say, we can light her this way, we can light her that way, we can light her that way. Whatever your mind thinks of, we can light her, as long as we don't break these little fundamental things. Posing, same thing. A lot of people talk about the wrist or this, and they have like a lot of, in their mind, rules of what posing has to be. Again, I don't think those are nearly as important as understanding the guidelines, that most of those so-called rules are really just guidelines to get you to what makes a person look A, masculine, or B, feminine, right? And that's really what it comes down to. How do you make women look more feminine? How do you make men look more masculine? And if you understand that's the rule, and everything else that leads you that way is a guideline. So come to one of my courses. Of course, I got my big one coming up here in just a day or two, but by the time you see this video, that'll be past. But I've always got new ones coming up. Check out my website, of course, BryCoxWORKSHOPS.com. And if I'm not coming to a town near you, I also have full online courses where you can just take from the comfort of your home, watching on your computer, your iPad, your phone, whatever, and you can watch literally hours and hours and hours of videos that I've created based on my live courses that are just right there streaming, or you can also just get them as DVDs and various things like that too. All right, if you're a photographer, send me a question. Let me know what your question is. My website, BryCoxWORKSHOPS, BryCox, workshops.com. All right, until next time, America.